Welcome to Budakiss Randomness. Today I'm going to introduce my favorite video game of all time, 720. This game brings together two of my favorite hobbies, video games and skateboarding.
Released by Atari in 1986, this game is sometimes called 720 degrees, referring to what happens when you do two 360s consecutively.
Atari even issued a warning to players that some of these tricks might be hazardous if attempted in real life, and to remember to skate safely with protective gear.
So I'll be going over a lot of things about the game with you. I'm going to start with the gameplay and explain it to you. I'm then going to talk about the cosmetics and the cabinet and the exterior, and then I'll follow it up with a little bit of culture and how it has its own unique group of followers that absolutely love this game the way I do.
As far as I'm aware, there were 3 flyers released to promote this game: the double-sided version, the single-sided version, and the one featuring skateboarder Steve Caballero. Skateboarding in the 80s was becoming very big. Steve was a member of the Bones Brigade team, along with Mike McGill, Rodney Mullen, Tommy Guerrero, Lance Mountain, and Tony Hawk. More on that later. When you first coin up, you'll be presented with the option to skate as an experienced skater or at the training level. The game opens at the heart of Skate City. You, the skater, have 3 objectives. Number 1, skate around the city at the mini parks. Number 2, spend your money at the equipment shops. And number 3, get into the parks and compete to earn a medal. The higher the medal, the more money you'll be rewarded. Spend some of your time at the 4 mini parks pulling off tricks to accrue points and collect money. These points convert into tickets and to get you into various skate parks. I don't believe these parks are specifically named, but if you know different, let me know in the comments below. As you can see from the map, there's a mini park with a lot of dots that's yellow and blue, and it features a bunch of inclines and water hazards that you can jump over. On the top left, there's a red park that has a lot of ramps and features water hazards as well as a toxic slime hazard to look out for. Going up to the northeast corner, there is a quarter pipe blue and yellow park that features 2 perpendicular ramps to play off of. And finally, my favorite is the mini park called Sessions, at least that's what's written on the ground, so I think it's called that, which has water and slime hazards as well. I'm not sure why this one happens to have a name. While pulling off tricks in Skate City, you'll sometimes receive suggestions to pick up skating equipment that will help you skate better. Sometimes you'll find floating money in the street, which isn't very helpful as the value is only $1 and equipment prices start at $25. When you return to Skate City after a competition, the price of each item increases by $25. By the way, there's a helpful map icon located around the city for you to skate over and get a rough sketch of where your skater is, how much money you have, how many tickets you hold, and where the shops and competition parks are located. Personally, I like to start off and purchase as many items as I can right away. It helps my skating performance, which helps my score. It's also a lot more fun to play when you can jump farther and skate faster. There are 4 items you can buy that will affect your performance. One of the reasons I love this game is the attention to detail. Each shop you visit looks like the item you're purchasing. Buying pads will help you recover quicker when you fall or crash. This is important because you only have so much time on the clock when free skating and competing. Getting a new board will increase your skating speed. This is important for getting around town and for some of the competitions like the slalom and downhill, so you can score higher medals and make more money. A new helmet will make you spin faster. If a high score is your goal, this piece of equipment is essential. It will also help you in the jump and ramp competitions. Last but definitely not least, shoes. Buying new shoes increases your jump height, which in turn affects the number of spins you can pull off. I love this feature as it adds to the enjoyment of my game. I feel like my skater just performs better regardless of skating on the street or in the park. At some point you're going to run out of time and hear the ever so famous demand, "Skate or die!" You'll want to skate to the nearest competition park before the killer bees sting you to death. Trivia question for all you Atari fans out there: what other game also features killer bees if you don't progress fast enough? Leave that in the comments for me below. Access to competition parks requires a ticket to enter. Depending on the difficulty level the game is set at, you either start the game with 1 or 3 tickets. Tickets are earned by scoring points throughout the game. There are 4 competition parks in Skate City. All of the parks have a timer, and some of them you must beat the timer in order to score a medal. The jump park features a series of ramps the skater launches off and tries to land on the bullseye below. Spinning gets you more points as well as landing in the center of the bullseye. The downhill park is a race against time. The quicker you get to the finish line, the higher medal you'll score. The ramp park is my absolute favorite. Your skater tries to get as much height off of a half pipe while spinning in the air and pulling off tricks. Here you can grind the coping and even pull a hand plant on the lip. These tricks are awesome, and as far as I'm aware, you can only pull them off in this event. Finally is the slalom park, in which the skater navigates between paired flags that change color as you skate through them. Successful skating gains you extra time to get to the finish line before time expires. After the completion of each competition, you get to see the underside of your board, which displays a few stats. It shows your score and medal score, and the specific medals you've received at each park. If you did not score a gold, silver, or bronze, you are awarded a Rolling Stone tongue. It also displays the equipment you have purchased so far. I find this helpful so I know which shop to navigate to next. As if the gameplay wasn't enough, now let's talk about the physical and cosmetic aspects of the game. 720 has a really unique, distinguishable shape. No other game looks quite like it. It's incredibly top-heavy, moving it is really a challenge, and the monitor is 25 inches by default. The side arc is a unique shape adhered at an angle featuring classic 1980s art. There are some alternate versions of art that you could find on the internet that also keep that 80s feeling, but I don't ever recall seeing it on the game originally. There's also a unique bezel that goes around the monitor, featuring logos and skateboards of the 80s such as Santa Cruz, Slime Balls, Vision, and Hosoi. A really cool feature of the game is the boombox that sits atop the monitor. It's a functioning speaker set that plays the music and talking throughout the game. The boombox is framed in a silver T-molding to add to that 1980s look. And there's an additional plate with a sticker in between the boombox and the monitor that states 720, the ultimate aerial experience. Finally, like most marquees, the 720 logo and tape cassette in the middle lights up. Like the other artwork, some people have created their own custom version of the marquee. I've seen the extra long boombox with 2 cassette tapes, as well as the artwork for the sides of the boombox. In the spirit of customization, I decided to copy someone else who added checkerboard grip tape to the bottom platform of their 720. I thought it looked really cool, especially since there's a black and white checkerboard on the control panel and the association with Vans shoes in the skating community. Take a look at the control panel. I not only love the art, the colors, and the design, but the joystick is one of the most unique joysticks ever made for a video game. In place of the standard 4 or 8-way joystick that comes back to the center when at rest, the joystick for 720 is not able to go to a center position. It's sometimes called the salad bowl joystick. T-molding on the game by default was silver around the boombox ends and black down the front. I've seen it in a variety of colors, from light blue to dark blue and even all silver. If your T-molding is a different color than the original dedicated cabinet, let me know in the comments and share a picture. I'd love to see it. I came across these shots of the game when it was in the planning stages. The idea was to have an actual skateboard that projected out from the game. If you know what that piece was supposed to do, if anything, let me know. I'm curious. I love to customize my games, and so do a lot of other people. Some build them from scratch, where others are inspired by the theme and create their own bar top arcade game. Some people mimic the style and use it as a main controller, while others incorporate cool themed components like this skateboard wheel into their control. There's even a special Bones Brigade edition of 720, pimped out in honor of the Bones Brigade skaters. The black-themed cabinet featured unique Bones side art, as well as a crazy Bones control panel overlay, and a crazy Bones graffiti-style marquee, which looked pretty spooky lit up. The 720 subculture is a very cool one indeed. In May of 2008, Nike Skateboard released 720 Degrees Nike SB Dunks, featuring the style and colors of 720. You can still find them on the web, but it's going to cost you a bit. Of course, a variety of skateboards featuring screenshots and artwork of the game have been released, along with tumblers, pins, mugs, keychains, and stickers. The 8-bit graphics are easy to translate into a cross-stitch, and some people have replicated the arcade game into a paper-foldable desktop game. The makers of 720 really did an amazing job bringing together the gameplay and the physical attributes. I feel it is the perfect example of an Atari Golden Age video game whose subject matter was at the height of popularity. Whatever your reason is, take heart in knowing that you are one of the many, many people who have spent more than just their allowance on this game. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. This was a passion project for me. Please leave me a comment. I read all of them and I would love to hear your input. Do something nice for someone today. Thanks.